system.
Lectures were given from the giant rock, and stalls were set up to sell books, photos, and space-age souvenirs. Most importantly, conventions like this gave the contactees a place to exchange ideas, rumors, and reports.
But I do believe what I see, and I am one of those who was inside a flying saucer.
I seem to become one with the entire universe. Everything in the universe seemed to be contracted down to one small dot.
What were their clothes like? The woman had a radiant red box-pleated skirt and a black velvet appearing blouse and a black and red tam or beret, and the men had clothes very similar to our Greyhound bus drivers.
Contactees also described the alien spacecraft they had seen in astonishing detail.
On July the 12th, I took a trip in a flying saucer, which I am pointing right here. The saucer was well equipped with rooms, bedrooms, bathroom, toilets, and this saucer, I went up into Mars, over the Moon, Venus, Clarion, and Orion. When I say Orion, I do not mean Orion. It is a planet outside of our galaxy.
Also popular among contactees was a belief that startling evidence was about to be revealed.
We are going to see more and more of these visitors from space, and that before too long, the evidence will be incontrovertible, that you will have on your TV screens and on your movie screens concrete evidence that the ships are here and that they are real and they're not fantastic things which have been cooked up to make a movie.
The contactee wave of the 1950s was a light-hearted sideshow to the UFO phenomenon. However, during this same period, photographs began to surface that suggested UFOs were no joke and had to be taken seriously. They are round, they are cigar-shaped, and they are cylindrical. Some appear to be sleek and smooth, as if made of stainless steel, while others appear bolted together from some alien cast iron. At night, they are described as having flashing lights. They appear without warning, streak across the sky, and disappear. Many UFO films and photographs have been identified as natural phenomenon or hoaxes. But some UFOs appear in photos when we least expect them and defy explanation.
UFO photo cases are tantalizing because they're some type of what you might think of as objective proof. The UFO phenomenon is ephemeral, and normally all we have are reports of witnesses on a piece of paper on a tape recorder. But with photos, you think you have something physical.
Indeed, photos offer some of the most convincing evidence that extraterrestrial aircraft may be real. This series of photos remains among the most compelling examples of what ufologists call a daylight disk. The photographs were taken on July 29, 1952 by George Stock, outside of his lawnmower shop in Passaic, New Jersey. Stock reported that as he was working outside at 4:30 p.m., he looked up to see something unusual flying overhead. Using an inexpensive box reflex camera, he snapped pictures of what he described as a disc-shaped object with a metallic bottom. It hovered momentarily, then accelerated and flew away. All that remains of this astonishing daytime visitation are a few pictures. But are photos reliable evidence for UFOs? Dr. Bruce Maccabee is an optical physicist employed by the United States Navy. His official research involves high-energy space lasers, but his interest also lies in the detailed analysis of UFO photographs. Of particular interest to Dr. Maccabee are photos which show no evidence of a hoax or misidentification, and cannot be otherwise explained. One such case began at a farm in rural Oregon in 1950.
These are two photos taken by a farmer and his wife in 1950 in McMinnville, Oregon. Here's the first photo and here's the second, and we'll get a little bit of a blow-up on these. Put them
Using image enhancement equipment, Maccabee brings into focus the startling photographs that were taken in the early evening with a simple camera.
You can see that it's an oval object with a little thing on the top, like a little protrusion at the top of it. This is obviously a hoax of the real thing. There's no halfway point. You can see the image clearly enough to see that it's not a bird or plane or Superman. So the next question is, what could it be? And if we go back over here, we can see that there are electrical wires right up above the object. Looking again at the blow-up. And now the question is there any evidence of a suspension underneath the wires?
A contrast-enhanced version of the Oregon photo reveals minute scratches that Maccabee must distinguish from a string or line that might have been attached to the object to suspend it for a hoax.
No one has found any evidence of a line going up above the object. There is a possibility that this thing might have been thrown and photographed, except that the image is not blurred by motion.
Agents of the Air Force and FBI questioned the couple who took this picture, and authorities later confiscated a copy held by the local newspaper. No one has yet explained why. This photograph is another of the more credible UFO pictures ever taken. It was snapped in Brazil by a government survey team in 1958.
A Brazilian naval photographer on a ship was there with the rest of the men when they saw an object shaped like Saturn, in other words, an object with a ring around it, flying toward an island that they were near, Trinidad Island, flying around the island and then taking off in the distance. And he snapped 4 or 5 or so or more photos of the object with literally dozens and dozens of witnesses.
The sighting lasted nearly 2 minutes. First, the object was reported to have approached the island, then it disappeared behind a mountain. It then reappeared before moving off at high speed toward the sea.
This is clearly a structure that somebody built. It doesn't look like anything that we have on Earth. There were all these witnesses who saw the picture being taken. For these reasons, the photographs are unusually evidential and have to figure in any kind of case for the reality of UFOs as somebody's technology.
Because this is a multiple witness case done by scientists and a professional photographer, and it has many photographs, it probably has to be taken seriously as the #1 photographic case in UFO history.
Soon after the photos were taken, Brazil's president, Juscelino Kubitschek, ordered them released to the press. His action stands in stark contrast to the apparent secrecy of official UFO inquiries in the United States, beginning with the Roswell incident in 1947. Even today, requests for government records are routinely refused. Documents that are released are often censored to the point of uselessness. Perhaps it is no surprise that many suspect a government cover-up and conclude that unidentified flying objects may indeed originate somewhere other than Earth.
Beneath the postcard beauty of Yellowstone Park lies a supervolcano long overdue, blanketing North America entirely in 10 feet of ash, killing everything in its path. This happened 600,000 years ago. When will it explode again? Brace yourself for the Yellowstone eruption on Mega Disasters, Tuesday night at 9 on the History Channel.